A 600-kilogram polar bear has just entered the Amazon rainforest. Temperature, 35 degrees Celsius. Humidity, 90%. It has 72 hours to live. In this biological simulation, we will track every system in this Arctic predator's body as it faces the green inferno. From the first suffocating breath to the final collapse, because nature does not forgive geographical errors. Welcome to Habitat X. To understand the magnitude of this invasion, we must first comprehend the biological machine we have just transported. The polar bear is the largest terrestrial carnivore on the planet. 600 kilograms of muscle, fur, and fat. Every inch of its body was sculpted by 200,000 years of evolution to survive in temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. But now it is in a territory where the minimum temperature is higher than the maximum heat its body can withstand. The bear's first battle is not against predators or hunger, it is against thermodynamics. The polar bear possesses 2 layers of waterproof fur and a fat layer up to 11 centimeters thick. This thermal armor was designed to retain heat in a frozen world. But in the Amazon, this same armor becomes a prison. While the external temperature is 35 degrees, inside the bear's body, we are reaching 40 degrees Celsius, just 2 degrees above the lethal temperature for mammals. Unlike humans, polar bears do not sweat. They cool down only through respiration and the pads of their paws. But breathing hot air cools nothing. It's like trying to extinguish a fire with gasoline. With each inhalation, the bear inhales air at 35 degrees and 90% humidity. Its lungs are suffocating in steam. The respiratory rate skyrockets from 8 to 40 breaths per minute. The heart pumps boiling blood at 160 beats per minute. Hyperthermia. The overheating of the blood has begun to cook its internal organs. 12 hours later. The timer marks 60 hours remaining. The polar bear has lost 15% of its body weight in water through panting. That is 90 liters of fluid evaporated in half a day. In the Arctic, it would drink melted snow, pure, cold, abundant water. But in the Amazon, every water source is a biological Russian roulette. The rivers here carry parasites for which the bear has no immunological defenses. Leptospirosis, giardiasis, schistosomiasis. But thirst is stronger than prudence. The bear plunges its snout into the dark water of the stream. And with each gulp, trillions of foreign organisms invade its digestive system, a system that evolved to process fat seals in cold salt water, not tropical parasites in contaminated fresh water. 24 hours in the Amazon, 48 hours remaining. In the Arctic, the polar bear is the absolute apex predator. Its white fur makes it invisible against the ice. It can detect a seal 1 kilometer away through the ice. But here, its white fur glows against the jungle green, like a beacon. Its sense of smell, trained to detect seal fat through meters of ice, is suffocated by the sensory overload of 80,000 species of aromatic plants. Every tree, every leaf, every flower emits a different chemical signal. It's the olfactory version of trying to hear a whisper at a rock concert. And the Amazon's prey are not slow seals in ice holes. They are agile capybaras, fast pacas, monkeys that live in trees, that the 600-kilogram bear could never climb. With each failed hunt attempt, more energy is burned. Energy that cannot be replaced. A polar bear needs 12,000 calories per day. Without a fat seal to eat, it is operating at an extreme caloric deficit. The body begins to devour itself, first the fat, then the muscle, then the vital organs. 48 hours, 24 hours remaining. In the Amazon, the biggest killers don't have claws or fangs, they have wings. The polar bear has never encountered a mosquito in its life. Its immune system has no defenses against tropical diseases. But now, hundreds of mosquitoes land on its sweaty fur. Each bite is an injection of malaria, dengue, or leishmaniasis. And there's more. The wounds on the bear's paw pads, cracked from walking on hot ground instead of ice, are now infested with botfly larvae and blowfly maggots, parasites that deposit live eggs under the skin, eggs that hatch into flesh-eating larvae. In the Arctic, the cold sterilizes wounds. In the Amazon, every wound is an invitation to septic necrosis. 60 hours, 12 hours remaining. The polar bear is 40% lighter, dehydrated, feverish, infected, and it has just entered the territory of another apex predator, the jaguar. In the Arctic, the polar bear has no competitors. It is the undisputed top of the food chain, but here it is an invader, and invaders are not welcome. The jaguar, at only 100 kilograms, would normally avoid a healthy bear. But this bear is not healthy. Its movements are slow. Its breathing is noisy. The jaguar perceives weakness. In the Arctic, the bear could crush any opponent with brute force. But here, exhausted and feverish, it has no energy for a confrontation. The jaguar growls, a territorial warning. The bear, for the first time in its evolutionary history, backs down. The king of the Arctic has just been expelled by a feline 6 times smaller. No territory, no food, no clean water, no chance. 72 hours in the Amazon rainforest. The timer has reached 0. The polar bear is in multiple organ failure. Its liver, overloaded by parasitic toxins, has stopped filtering blood. Its kidneys, dehydrated beyond the limit, have crystallized. Its heart, pumping at 180 beats per minute for 3 days, finally gives up. One of the most formidable creatures on the planet. A predator that survives blizzards of -70 degrees, that hunts in frozen seas, that dominated the top of the world for 200,000 years, does not last 3 days in a tropical forest. After processing millions of data points on thermodynamics, comparative physiology, parasitology, and behavioral ecology, the verdict of Habitat X is definitive. Biology is a destiny written over millions of years. Without a radical evolutionary intervention to reduce its fat layer, modify its thermoregulation system, adapt its metabolism to heat, and develop immunity to tropical diseases, a polar bear would not survive more than 72 hours in the heart of the Amazon. Nature does not punish the stranger for its strength, but for its lack of adaptation. The polar bear in the Amazon, the jaguar in the Arctic, the great white shark in the Nile, the Bengal tiger in the Sahara. Each simulation teaches us the same fundamental lesson. Every living being is a perfect piece of a geographical puzzle. When we move the piece, the picture falls apart. Evolution is not strength, it is specialization. And specialization is both power and prison. Now it's your turn. Which animal do you want to see in an impossible habitat? Write in the comments now. The animal, the habitat, why you think it would die or survive. The most voted comment becomes the next episode. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? A polar bear to show up at your house? Subscribe, hit the bell. The next extreme simulation is coming. Welcome to Habitat X, where geography is just a suggestion and biology is our testing ground. Thanks for watching.